ya ase ebirobinde toguchi kusanga naye kurubono gose asensem ensa eyemo erobosyo toguchi guchaka omoroberi bw'Etorobini inyoranga chitariki ne 20 omutinyo yega oikumi na rimo ritukoriria omorai bwense akageire gose aguchi goika bosi bwe bunge anyare ko bagakorwa enkwana yaye iyo manyekante buna state of the nation kubwatekana nense ya Kenya omwako weta murai bwense niga igeta se bunge yu akanyara ko bagagwikororo ase anyarete ko bagagukwanira amanga mange nabono abakenya nigo beyariganetie kwene kinga gose gotegerera kuigunga nararia yaiga omorai bwense abariganeretie nyoranga naboge okogendera gutonyora ase emitandao yekerero ensoko TV tubwatia sensemo ya Facebook naboigo Instagram, Twitter na YouTube tonyore buna ensoko TV naboiga namba yesimi nabogo tonyora gwetera gose ni gora twakire simi otome ujumbe gwetera ase enamba yetu ya studio yuere 0788666663 abuise kurika ujumbe yabo nabogo tonyora ase enchira ya bene kigimatochi toskare ase gikage kubwati gochande nkoreterari anyare ko baga okorekana ase chi county au naboigo aria agenderete gwabe gokorekana imeye bungenene. Omorai bwense ya Kenya ni gorit kuria rero agucha goika ase ebungenene na kurwa enkwana ya kubwatekana nense ya Kenya omwakweta gukwenyoringa omorai bwense nigo aigete ase bungeyo ase anyarete ko bagakoriera abakenya eira obogima bunambo chikonyara ko baboko ororoba na boigo guchiko baretera amagendero au ase rit kuria rero amaisonsi nigo bono arigeretie bunge eri koigwanga nararia yaiga omorai bwense abariganiretie eri ogiri kubwatia eriogiri omorai bwense abwasanya eteko bagakorwa enkwana yaye omwaka oeta.
The economy continues to grow steadily, recording a 5.6% growth rate in 2023, among the highest globally. We project 5% growth this year and 5.6% growth next year. Honorable members, our efforts to secure food security and stability are already bearing fruit. Since February, we have distributed subsidized fertilizer to 6.45 million registered farmers in 45 counties, enabling them to increase their yields. And this year, we have procured and through e-vouchers distributed 7 million bags of both planting and top dressing fertilizer to boost food production across the country. This intervention will see a projected increase in maize production, for example, to a record 74 million 90 kilogram bags. We have also concluded long-term agreements with 11 suppliers of assorted fertilizers so as to make this commodity available all year round. Fertilizer for the long rains season will be stocked in outlets nationwide, ensuring our farmers are ready to plant, grow, and produce. This forward momentum will not only increase our agricultural output, but also reduce our reliance on costly food imports, securing a more self-reliant and a more prosperous Kenya. This approach, rooted in my administration's policy to support production rather than subsidize consumption, has already made food more accessible, more affordable to many households. Today, Kenya boasts substantial national stocks. 47 million bags of 90 kilogram bags of maize are in our stores. 8.8 million bags of beans, 10.4 million bags of wheat, and 2.1 million bags of rice. Slowly but surely, we are building a food-secure Kenya, where families need not to worry or worry less about their next meal. In the sugar sector, we have achieved a historic milestone. All 17 sugar factories across Kenya are now operational, producing at impressive levels while 4 new sugar factories are under construction. In July alone, domestic sugar production reached 84,000 metric tons, surpassing the national monthly consumption average of 40,000 metric tons. For the first time in recent history, Kenya is producing enough sugar to meet our local demand. This success is attributed to many factors: subsidized fertilizer for sugarcane farmers, an additional 500,000 acres that has been brought under production, and improved management of the sugar sector, which have revitalized production and brought the industry.
Omurigereria tugutigaraga ase enkwana y'omurai bwense bono nigo omoseneta bwe kaunti ya Kitui oyuboigo ore omurai bwabake ase bunge ya Senate esokire na gukwana buna enkwana y'omurai bwense nige gocha chingaki abakenya babwatiraniri nabo nobokongu bwobugima asatebire abakenya nigo babwate emechando ao na igo ase enkwana y'omurai bwense nerebuya omurai bwense achikurigereria emanganari abakenya bagwetera.
Minority Leader in the Senate of the Republic of Kenya, I call on the President to summon and exercise a great caution in his pronouncements to the nation tomorrow. I hope and wish that the President would use the floor of the August House to speak real hope to a nation that is tottering on the edge of hopelessness, a people grossly frustrated by both the actions and inactions of state and state actors on basic human and people's rights. Kenyans are already overtaxed, and any new measure to squeeze a penny out of Kenyans would be too much to bear for salaried Kenyans, businesses, and indeed all Kenyans who have to contribute to national revenue through the purchase of the most ordinary and basic goods and services. The attack on the Kenyan payslip by this regime is a major blow to every household in this country. I hope that the President would not be using the floor of the National Assembly tomorrow to popularize his newest invention, to raid people's incomes through the so-called Infrastructure Development Fund. Kenyans cannot bear another fund. Kenyans cannot bear another levy. Kenyans cannot bear another loan. Kenyans want and deserve an objective demonstration of commitment on the part of the presidency to fiscal discipline, integrity, and competence in the management of public resources. Kenyans want and deserve a national executive led by the president that has capacity to tame its own appetite for punitive policies and laws. The Cyber Crimes Amendment Act 2025 and a list of other pieces of punitive legislations do not inspire confidence in the executive. An attempt to limit the freedom of speech.
Goskamotu omorigereri bwensoko oyo kabeire omanyakerogo bwe komiti budget ase ebunge nene oyubo igore omobunge okiaru omoske ndindi nyoro oruro gukurera ogutindi guchiase serikali asatebire ensi ya Kenya nigere asabe kubwatekana nechisire bwate kurwase chinse cheisiko naboigo nigo atebire buna okomento gwe budget asabono nigo akubugo atebire buna okomento gwe budget nigo guchukuirira ensi ya Kenya kwenyora ase akonkegima asabona aruro kukurera gose aruro kubori guchiase serikali kurigereria enganeyo aya niganya kwane taya ase nsemo ya Mombasa chinga kiarenge ase omuyega bwese mina.
The fiscal policy in Kenya has now been hijacked by debt. And this is how. The reasoning of the National Treasury, they are my friends, some are doing their best. The fiscal policy in Kenya currently is only addressing one issue to the detriment of the others. Why? If you look at both fiscal, actuary, and monetary policy, If you look at the issue of interest rate, we keep seeing the CBR is coming down. But if you look at the lending to the private sector, it's decimated. It is either stagnant or going down. So to whose interest is the interest rate in Kenya going down? It is basically because of domestic debt service. And that is why you see now the composition of debt in Kenya, and everything has ramifications. Previously, we are 50-50, that is domestic and foreign. But over time, we are now past 60 domestic. Why? Because Kenya does not want to be accountable to the external lenders. And you can see the trend. If IMF asks questions, what is our response as Kenya? We come to crowd out businesses in terms of credit in our banks. So we borrow internally. So in Kenya, the banking sector is making every year a return in terms of growth in profit, but it's not in tandem with the productive sectors of the economy. Because the government is dominant in lending, in borrowing. In the economic classes, we used to be told the work of government is to release money to the economy, either through banks, through fiscal policy. Now we have inverted. Now the work of the government currently is to mop up money from the pockets of the people and from the pockets of the banks to do the public projects. But you're only transferring farm and consumer, farm and individual consumption to public consumption.
Una enchereyemo yogutanga emechando ebwateraneti chinsemo chirichi konyora emburenke ewizara ya mache gwetera esekta yokorima ebisima kubwaterana nababwatani kurwa Horn Africa Groundwater for Resilience Project bachakire emeroberi yogochia korema ebisima chinsemo au ayonkorengana no mowaziri wa mache Eric Muga asaya kwanetaya gosechinga kiarenge asomoyega oyomoimeyense.
From here, and then you also pick from the QR code, you'll get the document, and you'll equally get today's photos. You'll get today's photos from the QR code. So let's clap for the team ahead of us. Please don't give a coffee. Board members, you can also join us. Come this side.
In the water sector, and this is a great milestone for us.
We are all aware of our water rivers in this country, the big rivers, Tana, Athi, etc. But are we truly aware of our reserves underground? The investment is coming from the national government, partly. The investment has to come from development partners, and the investment also must also come from grants, because the center is also a training and education center, whereby their proposals are supposed to appeal to enthusiasts and philanthropists, people who want to develop knowledge. That is an area that we have not been faring very well. So this strategy insists on attracting development partners and also attracting grants for study. At the end of this plan, we need to know how many patents have we gotten out of this. And that is actually giving value for the investors' money and giving faith that this country can develop its own database of both surface reserves and
Biamono kigima omurigereri bwensoko akirangu kumanyinga ni gogendete konyora Etorobini ensoko kurugaiga ensoko TV kirangu kumanyinga nabo gutubwatia ase emetandao yonsi yekerero tonyore buna ensoko TV ensemo ya Facebook ensoko TV Twitter Instagram nabo igo YouTube genda gutubwatia buna ensoko TV ase namba yetu studio nabo gutogendera gutorikera ujumbe goswa kesimi yao wetera ase enamba 0788666666 3 abuna bokonyara kabago konyora ujumbe yawo ngwikere ase nchira ya bene kigima karango kwaribaga erinde turagenda aso mutimo ko musinini tukwirana ndogenderere kumanya ari agenderete gwateka ase chinsemo au toska tuchiare gendera kwegokya
Eye Nensoko TV Uboroso bw'umugusi. Ubugima n'urugendo rw'atamange amaya n'amabe. Umusakito Linet Nyambane niga ngaririye imena isiko yagusi nagusanga nabayaeteire nabakuyaetera.
Nchekera na ibole twe unango tebiwa na ibole tukinde buya ngakina kinde buya ekera na chiko ikemia kasta ngachaka ngondifera po ngoira samagoro wani kamenya gutokanga na twali roba wana wachagete
aya nime yo muroberyo bumwenori kirali tukule Jumatano chinsa ibiri chabutuko imeya Nsoko TV Uboroso bw'umugusi. Obulimira bw'essiro y'obunda bw'ensi kulende tali nchirende nsira krobulimi obuyoke enyole libaga lya bene kwaebwa megelyo chisemi nobosemya iguru y'obulimi bw'ekerero n'ekikolinga
ase obulimi bochete skuru nobotigi bokumerwa mate
tebone ng'ombe bune yengiya
ngale konyana eyinsimegete ntera ngetia maraba ekonete konya kukina yo kamara konya kuyira nganya kwama buya
beka chibuti imokyo bokombe to semogondo bweli nebisumwime na pathway machi
kiretse kuri Jumaine chinsa nibere cyamuragoba weka chinsa isato asomorobere oburimi nobotugi ekero turesemya mange kuri asaberimi chini gongoro ka pathway machin
asomorobere boburimi nobotugi ime Nsoko TV Uboroso bw'umugusi. Onye kubwatari iboryo obosemya gusekero kende gyonsigoro y'emirobere yaitu Nsoko TV twakeresimi ase namba 0788666663 gose tulikereri uko rya email nsokotv.ke@gmail.com boigo nabugo tutarira service itego tukasamaga hazina towers egoroba ya gatanu narimo asumucyo munene Nairobi. Nsoko TV Uboroso bw'umugusi. Amarere nigagendere tugotose mwana boira bukia tali Yesu sera ekegonko esukari lisabeso ukurasa kwa manyinga yani blood pressure ninki turakole wetanga kuri wasare nyorali chibu asomurobiryo bubugima nobo cheno asora bego kumeni wanabanyegitari bamarwire ao nabo yabamanyi bande bayatunge tyobo cheno kumurikira marwire nobo wenya nyoro murobiryo bubugima nobo cheno na Caroline Mausa kirali tukule Jumatatu chinsa ibiri chabutuko ime Nsoko TV Uboroso bw'umugusi. Magega ya televisioni Nsoko wikasero yao kwa nyori ribaga ligi yaliyokoralia asegete senambeyemo imena isiko yeliroba liyagusi onye kubwa tokoralia gukwenyulia ogukwa gose okubunchuria bono nabokonyali bagali yabene liyokoralia asegete senieke aseliguri liyake busani tulikere gose twakere simigwetere namba yaito yobunchuria 0788666662
omwanchi omurire bw'ensoko TV
igetaseni Ensoko TV ibwatira sengenje yao
kokoretera amang'ana amaya
ayatabwati gwanchero ko rwonsi kurime yagusina isiko yagusina
to kubekera tene ni anyarre ko bakawateka
atabwati gwanchiro bonda bwensi
korwa ebunge ya Kitutu Chache South Meye County ya Kisii elietariane Caroline Mausa
korwe county ya Nyamira elietara Nyarike Steven Embonde
korwa county ya Kisii elietariane Wycliffe Orenge
mera na inche Dominic Onderi Nyabuto ekeranya gukoreta amang'ana amaye ko ritukira Jumatatu paka ritukira Jumapili
cheni gongoro ko petuel machin na nyora Etorobini Ensoko TV oboroso bomogusi
ine asama kiaya mbireo seino mbireo asama tuko amaega obugima bwokera lituko bwomogusi nigo bwale gosirwa nobolemi likomera liburga lisamora byonsi asekerenga yokobeka ase ekiage ekemo ningi keire libaga likiage asinka yomogusi nobonchereria noborokia nobonyanyimbo gose nobwagachi asomoroberio wikiage kyomogusi nobe gokumerana na inche Frida Kerbo kera litkoria ijuma chinsa ibere chamugoroba astogosanga nomugusi kurwa chingongo eliokumanya naki bakwenyorera engere yabo ya kera litko tomocha
chinchira chito chigekoro nigo chirasoko goselwa konene gosiriwa ne chinchira chekerero ekira kikiagarira Ensoko TV twachire guturigisa ku kyomugusi kurwa soko limera asendiba y'abanyandwariro
oboroso bomogusi boigekerwe omogusi bono ne chinchira chiago goikaransanse na kobeke TV yao kwene kingangwe somi uregekoro kyomugusi
wetro murobiryo bwigekoro gyeito hasi tokumera nabaga kaba Samuelere nabuiga bangi nabanyika eligo kwanira okwebo ya chindagira amasikani chinyangi nemejega ao yomugusi
kera lituko ria ramisi chinsa ibere igoro imeye TV yao na Mbeya Ensoko TV
na Stephen Nyarike Mbunde tolende ekimira
eye Ensoko TV oboroso bomogusi
yegoro yeito imeye Ensoko Ensoko yegoro yeito imeye Ensoko Ensoko ibyengia yakire ngumanga bunalero Ensoko
eye Ensoko TV oboroso bomogusi obugima n'orugendo rubwatamange amaya n'amabe omusakito Linet Nyambane niga ng'aririe imena isiko yagusi nagusanga nabayaeteire nabakuyaetera
nchekera na ibole twe unango tebiwa ndabona ibole tukinde buya ngakina kinde buya ekera na chiwe ke miaka sta ngachaka ngondifera po ngoira samagoro wani kamanya gutokanga na twaliroga ona wachagete
aya nime yo muroberyo bw'umwenori kira litukure Jumatano chinsa ibiri chabutuko imeya Ensoko TV oboroso bw'umugusi Eye n'Ensoko TV, oboroso bw'umugusi.
Mbiamono kigimana ende omwancho murigereria bwa Ensoko TV nukwigena kwane buna nigo gendrete buya kirango kumanyinga emeroberi yaito nigo okonyenyora ase ensemo yemitandao yekerero nyoranga nigo tore ase omoroberi bwa Etorobini kerto kunya kumurekera aria wa agendrete gokorekana ase chikaunti ao tokagenda masemo ase omunachi ebina omonene omusubati Martha Koome anyare ko bagagwikerana se aikiranire asomo yegabo gotiani gwa kwa batu bogeti chimikianda nemerongo ebere tokogenda masemo ende tonyare ko batokorora chibichechi torere nararia ya agendrete kokorekana imeya ensemeyo
in your journey in the legal profession. So, therefore, it's a profound honor for me to join your parents, to join everybody else, to welcome you to the legal profession as learned colleagues. Today, you have now the right to call yourself learned colleague. I'm sure you've been doing it, but officially, you are now my learned colleagues. To each one of you, congratulations. Your journey to this point has been as a sign of discipline, as a sign of endurance, a deep commitment to learning. Today affirms that you have satisfied, you have met the requirements, you have met the necessary qualifications, you met all that was required. Remember, the Office of the Attorney General superintends the Kenya School of Law. So I can confirm from my principal here, Dr. Henry Mutai, that you guys went to class. Na mulifanya kazi. Tupigie makofi. And I can also confirm from my good friend here, Professor Chuck Mwimali. Professor Imi did not come with the, with the written, speeches. He came and said, yes, I confirm. These people passed their exams. Congratulations. As you take your place at the bar, allow me to share 3 reflections that I hope will guide you in the years ahead. First, embrace the responsibility that comes with this privilege. The title, Advocate of the High Court of Kenya, is a call to service. You inherit a legacy built by men and women who stood fearlessly for the rule of law, sometimes at great personal cost. We have had issues of what has happened in the last, 1 year, last year. Those are not very easy moments in the history of our country. But as lawyers, we also have a responsibility that as we raise issues, as we deal with the challenges that face us, remember that at the end of the day, we have a country that we all belong to and that we must seek to ensure that the country remains one. Let integrity be your constant companion. In every brief you take, in every client you advise, in every courtroom you enter, let the truth guide you and professionalism divine you. My second issue, see yourself as a partner in strengthening our justice system. Don't be the weak link. The administration of justice is a collective endeavor. The courts, the bar, the Office of the Attorney General, and all justice sector institutions depend on one another to ensure fairness, efficiency, and access to justice. Whether you practice in litigation, commercial advisory, public service, academia, or emerging fields of law, your competency and conduct will shape public confidence in the system we all serve. Be the advocate who contributes solutions and not obstacles, who advances justice, not delay, who elevates the profession and not diminishes it. The third approach the future with courage and curiosity. The world you are entering in is complex, defined by technological advancements, new business models, evolving public expectations. There is something that has come up that we call public participation, where even the public that we thought did not understand or did not know, they know better than we do. The law will continue to change, and so must you. Commit to continuous learning, explore new practice areas, be open to innovation, and above all, ground your growth in values that endure even as the world transforms around you. I remember when we started practice, the very first thing that we used to be told is running down matters. And I'm sure I was consulting with my brother, Honorable Philip Murgo, that those who did running down and ran with people's money and ran with blood, finally the running down matters ran over them. They are not there. So I do not want these brilliant minds who are now advocates to follow into that route. There are many areas now in the legal profession that you need to look at and ensure that that would help you. The Office of the Attorney General serves as the principal legal advisor to the government.
Ensi ya Kenya egendrete kumuinyora oyo kabeire omu Prime Minister Nyagosira Raila Odinga abakenya babori gogwesokia asobonge na kumuinyora Raila oyo kwero kwaye asensemo ya gisiasa kwairerete ensi ya Kenya gosuka egetambo kerekenene ase siasa chense bono ababwatani baruro kuboria gochase abasani kwene kyanko muinyora bari Raila ase ukorosia amatera ayora chigutigara ase chikumbukumbu cy'abakenya.
Come on. Hey. Come on. You get on your ladder.
The General. So are bringing in artists and special guests so that we can just celebrate, commemorate the life and times of the departed hero, Prime Minister Raila Odinga.
We call upon all creatives to give back to Baba for what he has done for us. And so we are calling upon artists to come out in their large numbers and the audience to celebrate this moment. Particularly, there'll be a break of a panel discussion where we're going to have professors from the university and institutions of learning who are going to dissect the oratory skills that were exhibited by Raila Odinga.
Falling down will be descending to trace the journey of Raila Amolo Odinga tomorrow in this hall. We welcome you to Kenya Cultural Center, incorporating the Kenya National Theatre for a great moment. He will be back alive tomorrow.
ase ensemo ya siasa omokonyi bw'omurai bwense Profesa Kithure Kindiki n'omurai bw'ekiama gia DCP Rigathi Gachagua nigo bagendete gupimana chinguru ensemo ya Mbeere North ase kero yomo agwakira ikuku omurwaniriri bw'ekirogo ky'obubunge ase ensemo yegose ase byama byabo nigo babirabu batebire buna nigo baguchikobera ase chinsemo ekyo goika omubui onyare kobaga gutuka ase kero yomo akungusa engori gocha ase ensemo yaye.
Huyo rafiki yangu hakuleta hata classroom moja ajajenga hapa Mbeere North, na yeye alikuwa mdosi. Ni kweli si kweli? Mulimuona hapa Mbeere North? Alitusaidia barabara moja. Kuna project ya maji alileta hapa. Na waomba kwa unyenyekevu mchague Mheshimiwa Leonard Muriuki wa Muthende. Huyu wa Muthende anatosha atoshi. Ni fire si fire, ni noma si noma. Wacha nione kula ya Muthende, kirie kula ya Muthende. Leo ni leo, leo anatosha atoshi. Leo ni fire si fire, leo ni noma si noma. Aendelee asiendelee, leo aingie bunge, wa Muthende aingie bunge.
Pesa mkure, si ndio? Lakini dovu asisikwe na pembe. Pembe ingolewe. Alafu dovu wafanya nini? Na ng'ombe isikufe na maziwa. Si ndio? Ikamuliwe kwa? Alafu ikufe. Na hii Kasongo watu ya Mbeere wamekula pesa yake. Amenyolewa. Kasongo amenyolewa. Kasongo anyolewa sinyolewe. Kasongo anyolewa sinyolewe. Karinda anyolewa sinyolewe. Muthende anyolewa sinyolewe. Lakini kura mchunge, si ndio?
Omurai bwense ya Kenya William Ruto oraririe meroberia emiya eguchikubekwa ase ogusangireria ebango eywerengete guchia gutinya emeroberi bugusangiriria ebango imeyense ukwana ritkore igoro ase nyumba y'oburai bwense chinga kyabariganetie abarai ase sekte yo ase ndagira ya magoroba eri guchengera emyaka 30 ya KRA kurwa kusego emyaka 30 ekyombekeri kya KRA kya rurobo koreri nabo emyaka 20 yo gusangiriria ebango omurai bwense nigatebire buna ebangeyo egocha komentwa asenchira ebwenerete eywerengete koba omunguso gochia asaba Kenya bange gochaka gokora obonchoreria.
Disciplined fiscal reforms and a deliberate effort to foster a vibrant private sector. The government's fiscal consolidation agenda continues to bear fruit, with the fiscal deficit projected to narrow further this financial year. In this pursuit, revenue collection remains a central priority. We are leveraging technology to modernize the taxation framework, seal revenue leakages, and enhance overall system efficiency. Innovation is essential for improving the fairness and effectiveness of our tax system and ensuring that we keep pace with the rapidly evolving economic environment. Technology will also help us broaden the tax base so that every Kenyan contributes their fair share of taxes. So when everyone pays something, no one feels punished. But when only a few pay taxes, even the compliant ones will start looking for exit.
Launched KRA's 9th corporate plan alongside the government's enterprise API platform, now known nationwide as Gava Connect. Today, more than 1,000 Kenyan developers are actively building solutions on Gava Connect APIs, making Kenya one of the first countries on the continent to deploy a government-wide API ecosystem. By integrating KRA services into eCitizen, we have reduced compliance time for individuals and MSMEs by over 40%, freeing entrepreneurs to build businesses, create jobs, and grow our economy. This is more than technology. It is the transformation of a government that listens, responds, and serves. Launched KRA's 9th corporate plan alongside the government's enterprise API platform, now known nationwide as Gava Connect. Today, more than 1,000 Kenyan developers are actively building solutions on GABA Connect APIs, making Kenya one of the first countries on the continent to deploy a government-wide API ecosystem. By integrating KRA services into eCitizen, we have reduced compliance time for individuals and MSMEs by over 40%, freeing entrepreneurs to build businesses, create jobs, and grow our economy. This is more than technology. It is the transformation of a government that listens, responds, and serves. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya's economy continues to navigate global headwinds, including shifting trade patterns, fiscal constraints, and the impact of climate change. Yet we remain steadfast in our pursuit of inclusive and sustainable growth, as demonstrated by the 9.1% revenue increase in the second half of last fiscal year, despite these challenges. Nation building is a collective effort that calls for participation, contribution, and shared responsibility. Paying taxes is not merely a legal obligation. It is an act of patriotism and solidarity, a collective commitment to the Kenya
Chingaki yatigaire eike ya moyoka ase ekyombekeri yoko kyobochori ne chimbebe IEBC kwarigania obochori oboke ase chinsemo ao imeyense bone kyombekyo nigo kyanyorire amasakara ayoba guchigotumeka chitarike 25 ase bari bakurwanire birogo ao ase abakichikura baguchikonyora ribaga ryogochora abarayi bari baganetie.
I mean, that makes it slightly cheaper. Yes, focusing on the cost saving. So as compared if you were to hire Charter Hall, Emirates, Boeing 777, the cost will be higher. So we just opted to transport it the normal way. And therefore these pilots have to share that cargo space with the other cargo also coming into the country. So, but we expect tomorrow the biggest, about 29 of them. So in total we will have 29 plus 10, we have 39. Yeah, so thank you very much. We hope members of the state, you are very much welcome to cover the by-elections. Actually starting now, and I'm already very, very pleased with the work you are doing in highlighting what we are doing. So we hope that you'll be there on site, some of you, and some of you in the studios back in Nairobi, to tell Kenyans what is happening right from the day we start opening the materials, setting up the polling centers and the polling stations, the first voters to arrive, and how the procedure in which they cast their votes, all through up to when we do the counting, the tallying, and of course the transmission and the declaration of the results in the various electoral areas. So we welcome your support, and please report accurately, report factually, but also inform us as Kenyans on the incidences that you will see that will serve to undermine the integrity and the credibility of the electoral process. We are your partners, and let us work together for the best of our country, Kenya. Thank you very much.
Omobunge ogatanga kubwaterana no moseneta bwe county ya Kiambu nigo bagikire omokonyi bw'omurai bwense Professor Kithure Kindiki asebatebere buna nigo omokonyi bw'omurai bwense atari omwegeno gochia anse abamenyi ba Mbeere North.
Huyu mtu anaitwa Kindiki ambaye alipatiwa kazi na Kasongo, ambaye ametoka hapa Tharaka-Nithi, ajue hapa kuna wenyewe ili heshima ya Mbeere irudi. Kindiki, niliona wewe ndio ulikuwa wa kwanza kuja hapa kupigia huyu mtu anaitwa Muthende kura. Na unajua vizuri sana wewe Kindiki, wewe ulipiga makofi wakati Rigathi Gachagua aling'atuliwa uongozini, na sasa wewe unarukaruka.
Si tumekuwa tukisema Kasongo anaenda nyumbani 2027. Sema 27. Si tumekuwa tukisema Kasongo tunapeleka nyumbani, sema 27. Akachagua IBC yake, sema 27. Baada ya kuchagua IBC yake kukakuwa na by election sema 27. Ile ya IBC yake wakaangalia ile siku ya kuleta by election ni tarehe 27.
Tafadhali, umeshindwa na kuleta maendeleo uko Tharaka. Hata ile barabara inaenda kwako haina maram, haina rami, na umekaa kwa serikali zaidi ya miaka 10 na kitu. Sasa wewe utatusaidia na nini? Hata madarasa ya kwako ni ya matope.
Mbia mono sana umurigirire wensoko akerende no kwegena ni gogendrete gutonyora buya kurugaiga ase Ensoko TV oboroso bomugusi karondo chenga charagre chinsa isano ne moigoro karango kumanyinga wikirage gando chenga no moeri bo muruberi gochikoba go kwerera korende ntara arugaiga ase studio mancho murigereria nyora ngarit kuria rero umurai wense ngwikare ase amagache bungenene asago chikubwatuka enkwana yae kubwatekana nense ya Kenya ewe manyekanite una state of the nation enkwana yo murai wense nige gocha chinga kiense ya Kenya gwikira banoiga ikagere gutwara rideni koru gose amakabeso koru chinse Chisco abwase abariba manyete amangana ya economy yense bagoteba ngari denyerio nigorietane ti trillion 11.5 gochigoro aina ara mabori abakenya bange bakonya kweboringa rero ninkyo murai wensa gochigukwanira tinda manye birengere bya ombere byebi inyoranga nabo kogendera gotonyora nabo gusangana into gwetera ase number 8 simina gotebiere 0788 666 666 alafu mweriga bubeke 3 inere namba 8 studio ensamo ya Facebook tonyore buna Ensoko TV na boigo YouTube na emitandao yonsi yekerero nigo kogendera gotonyora buna Ensoko TV baribonsi baene kinga omoroberio yo gwikirega bwa senchera ebwenerete na baribo na engo gwakirambia mono mwanchu murigereria asogo chora gototengeranga moroberio toro gocha gwikirana onyenga otari gotobwaterania gabo mbia mono kigima gendera gutwara chinga kichingia gwikana ende ekero kende iretaria nani gonkoro kwa Linet Nyambane kerongo kuganeria otware omugaso omuya ende kerotoro umirane ebirobinde
Eye Ensoko TV.